Hello, folks. Well, I'm not sure, for some reason my photos have stopped uploading to the cloud since Sunday. So I don't know if I'll be able to, how I'm going to be able to show all these things, because mostly I make these comparisons on my phone, and then it uploads to the Google Photos, and then I download it onto my laptop and make videos. But now these scumbag Silicon Valley goons have somehow stopped it, so it doesn't work. So we'll see. This might be my last video for at least a while. But anyway, so let's see. I'll first show this guy. Yeah, first show this guy. So this is from the book of Two Ways of Jehudi Hotep. So this is the one that's retrograde. This is the one that has, it's this section right here that, like, South America, the southern tip of South America is right here. I cut it off in this photo, but the map is right there. That's the southern tip of South America, and then there's these three sections. So it seems to be that this one is, the Falklands, which are just east of Argentina, and these are the islands that are around them, the smaller islands, kind of archipelago. This seems to be Isla Wellington in Patagonia, and the rest of these seem to be the smaller islets around it. And then this seems to be Antarctica, with the Antarctic Peninsula as his arm. And these would be the islands, small islands around Antarctica. So, and then this, I think this is Australia, and this is, Kalimantan, Papua, Philippines, and New Zealand. And not entirely sure what these guys are. But anyway, it's a funny thing about the Falklands, because when I used to think the Falklands were something else, at least in the SEPI map especially. I thought it was a different illustration. So anyway, this, you can see it. I zoomed in on just this end of it, so you can see like the bird's head and beak and knife. So and then this guy is like a horned animal, and so you can definitely see why this guy would be a bird, and how his body kind of curves around this way. These certainly look like wings here, and this looks like some plumage on his tail. And then you could certainly see why that would be, like he's holding a knife there just under his beak. And this guy certainly does look like a horned animal, because his head is almost completely separate from his body, other than the really thin isthmus. And so, you can see his horns are clearly these things. And this is his schnoz or whatever. And then these would be his legs. And initially I was thinking like this is his tail, and then his legs are 1, 2, 3, and this thing. But then I realized that they changed the orientation of the tail. Either they changed the orientation, it's like, I think the tail is really this little bit right here, like the kind of top of this thing, which points backwards. And so yeah, anyway, I'm pretty sure that's the tail, which is actually an island and a peninsula right there. And then this part that comes down is the back leg, and this is this leg, and this is this leg, and this is this leg. And then this island, I guess, would just be separate, or it kind of looks like it could be like a bell on a goat or something, you know, like so, you know, like, it's pretty straightforward. I was first not totally sure if maybe this peninsula down here on West Falkland was also a knife, or which one was the knife. And arguably it could be both our knives, because knives are usually whatever causes a strait, or it's often whatever causes the strait. So this is certainly a strait between the Falklands. So this is East Falkland and West Falkland. So anyway, yeah, so eventually I realized that this little bit is the tail. This, yeah. And that's about it. You know, you can see the little curve of the you can see the little curve of his horn there that's depicted pretty well there. And yeah, I don't know. It's not completely exact in every way. It's obviously stylized, but and they don't put all the wings and stuff on this guy, unfortunately, but you know, you can basically figure it out. But the funny thing is that when I had first found this guy, you know, I had thought that he was I thought he was this thing right here. So like, this is America. I mean, these are all like well, I mean, I guess these are mostly accurate labels, but not my labels. But yeah, so I thought, because this guy right here is basically exactly where the Falklands are. He's just a bit east of southern, you know, Argentina. So I assumed that he was a composite deity, you know, like that his body included both of the Falklands. But I remember being disappointed, because once I looked at the Falklands, you know, I realized that, and that guy's kind of like a hippo with a knife or something like that. I don't know. But once I looked at the Falklands on a map, and I saw how this one really, really looks like, you know, these are two separate islands, and this one really looks like a horned head, and this looks like a body with legs on this side. So this would have been like years ago, like 5 years ago, probably, when I first found this stuff. And I thought, like, why didn't they make him into a horned animal? He obviously should be one. He's like, clearly, you know, he's perfectly formed to be a horned animal. Why would they subsume him into this other one? But later what I found out was that this critter in here is actually Isla Grande de Tierra del Fuego, which is basically part of I mean, it is part of Argentina, but it's basically like right up on the coast. And the only reason they put it out here where the Falklands are is because they had to fit the text in between. And they're also kind of showing you this is the way that you should travel if you want to go. You know, you shouldn't try to go around Tierra del Fuego. You should go between it and mainland South America. You take the Magellan Strait. So anyway, I'm glad that I turned out that that was the case, and they actually had turned him into a horned animal. So that's good. Sometimes I don't give the ancients enough credits. And so this guy I'm just going to show really quick before it cuts me off. It only gives me like 10, 12 minutes lately, but I could try to show him again. This is, you can see, well, I don't know if you can, yeah, you can see here. The St. Anne River is this wavy little line right there. And the Boyer River, if you can see it there, is a similarly wavy line that goes to there. So those are like these two lines that are between his head and his halo. Like his halo is this island, Orleans Island, or however you say it in French or whatever. Kind of anglicized all this because French is just like not built to be read or spoken by non-francophones, really. Doesn't translate well. Anyway, so there's St. Anne, there's Boyer River. I put them at different angles than they really are. They're really closer to this, but I had to fit them into this picture, so I changed, I think I changed the Boyer River angle because it really goes like that. And then this Montmagny, or whatever you call it, river is this black line right here. So that's his beard. And, this is his face is like around here. This is his halo. These are his horns. And then his front leg is actually like his foot is Nova Scotia and his leg is like New Brunswick. And maybe some other stuff. And of course his back, his tail is the Saguenay River, which splits in two here and then comes from some kind of lake over there. So this is a major god, like this was where people would go in the Copper Age to get their copper from the Great Lakes. And so this might have been one of the most important early centers in America for Egyptians and other old world sailors.